The Federal and Chettinadu Public School jointly present Run for Health Karegudi Marathon 2025 on March 2. This event is co-presented by Global Mission Hospital and Research Institute, powered by Repco Home Finance, associate sponsor Sethu Bhaskara College.
No power or ideology dominate for long. Left ideology also emerged from the garb of this crisis. You have to prove your efficiency. You have to prove your matter that you can do service to the people, do good to the people. And only when you change the people's mind, only you can change the system.
Hello and welcome to the Federal. Our guest today is Hannan Mollah. As you know, he is a senior leader of the Communist Party of India and the All India Kisan Sabha, India's largest peasants and farmer organization. He played a pivotal role in the ongoing farmers' movement, demanding a legal guarantee for minimum support price for their produce, along with other issues confronting the farmers. And within a few hours from now, the 27th State Conference of the West Bengal unit of the CPIM will begin at Dankuni in Hooghly district. There, the party is expected to chart its strategy for the next year's assembly elections in the state of West Bengal, which was once considered as communist bastion. Today, the left is facing an existential crisis in the state. At least that is what elections results in the recent past suggest. We will try to know from Mr. Hannan Mollah what are the challenges confronting the CPIM and the communism in Bengal as well as in the country as a whole, and how his party plans to deal with it. So, Mr. Mollah, welcome to the Federal and thank you for your time. So, to begin with, sir, how do you analyze the party's downfall? Is it a mere electoral setback or a larger ideological blow? How do you see?
You know, one thing what I look at, no power or ideology dominate for long. We have seen after 3-4 decades, it has some decay, then it works again and it can recover. Any dynasty, any rule in the world, in the country, we have seen it continued 2, 3, 5 decades, and after that it has some decreasing trend. That is the natural trend. So the left ideology also emerged from the garb of this crisis. The economic crisis after independence was acute. Unemployment, starvation, and all sorts of economic crisis and underdevelopment was crushing the country, economy, and the common people. And the factory workers are not getting their dues, they are occasionally retrenched from the work. Farmers are not getting the price for their produce. And common people, majority of the common people are suffering a lot. Against those suffering of life, the Communist Party of India, they took up the causes of the people and they found that what is the reason of this poverty of the majority of the people. As per the communist understanding, that because whatever people produce for the country, only few people enjoy this fruit. Majority of the producers are deprived of their products. They get only some minimum survival for their survival, and major part of the products are captured by the capitalists, landlords, and richer section of the people. So in that situation, poor people cannot survive by begging. So they have to make them conscious about their right. Many things they are poor because of their fate. God makes them poor, they cannot change it. That type of andhavishwas and superstitions also suppress them and to accept the oppression and exploitation. So, we thought that we have to change this mentality. We have to convince them that they are not poor for their work. They are working for 10, 12 hours. But why? they are poor because their product and their result of the product is being looted by few. If we can make them conscious, only they will come forward and demand their rights. And on the basis of their demands, we can build up struggle, and through that struggle, we can change their mentality. That was the purpose we started working in the 60s.
But sir, the factors you pointed out, these factors still exist in the society. But then, why the left are not able to, capitalize on these factors and build its organization?
No, we are succeeded in many states in many areas, especially West Bengal, Kerala, Tripura, a portion of Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, and subsection. But a major part of the country is absolutely drowned in backward superstition and this andhavishwas. So India, when people more are unscientific, they're victim of unscientific thinking. They depend on their fate. And those people in our country, those they are very cleverly induced all this in superstition in their mind and made them believe on their fate. This is the major problem in the among the poor. If we can change their mind that it was not you are poor not for your fate, you have to fight for your right. Only if that can give you some better life. That was the
Yeah. So, so essentially, you are saying that it is the superstition among the poor. Because of that, the left are not been able to grow.
one of the major reasons. One of the major reasons. We try to pursue the people, convince the people to impart scientific thinking among the people, rational thinking among the people, and we succeeded in some parts of the country, but a majority part of the country who are totally absorbed in their faith, not in scientific thinking, not an argument, not in rationality, but in faith. Those sections of the people could not be convinced in a large number. Through struggle, why we could mobilize people, and there were places we could mobilize their support, and we could bring them in the struggle. But in other places, it could not be spread. It is a big problem, we know, but that is one of the reason that why we could not convince the people because for illiterate, backward, that is superstitious, and all this type of people, it will not be easy to make them rational and fight for their right. So we have to first make them conscious about their right, but a section of the people we could, but other section we could not. That was the because of our success. For 3 decades, we could rule some states with that understanding. But gradually, in the system, in a whole country, India, in a big state, where in small places you work, you cannot convince the majority of the people of the country because they are only left with their old ideas. This is the difficulty we are facing. But we think we have to work hard, we have to convince the people, and we have to raise the what is truth in their life, who is responsible for their problem, and that is a long process. It is not magic because you can convince with superstition any people because they are superstitious. In one word of superstition, they will run after you. But you want to make them convince rationally, scientifically, it may take ages. So this is a
But
big
sir,
ideological battle. It is a mental battle, ideological battle. Along with that, only we can change the mind of the people. And when you can change the mind of the people, we'll be able to spread that thing in atmosphere, in politics, and administration.
sir, even your this labor now trade union movement, particularly over this new labor laws, this labor codes, and
Yes.
also this farmers movement over MSP. These are also, not resonating across the country. It is limited among the among limited within certain pockets. So why is it so? At least here, this argument of superstition and all this doesn't hold, isn't it?
As we are working ideologically, politically, scientifically, but for that we need massive network. But in which area we could prepare a section of the conscious activists and who could work day and night tirelessly among the people, some changes could be. But in other places, the organization was almost nil, and in that situation, we could not reach to the people. That is another problem we are facing. Organizational weakness, one of the major problem. And when after sometimes three decades, when we are captured by world capitalist exploitation, because World Bank philosophy is now capturing. They are destroying the industry. Trade union movement all over the world is now waning because World Bank forced them that remove the permanent worker and bring only temporary workers. Marx showed that working class means those who are permanent worker who has base on their industry, they can stop the industry when they like, and that trade union movement can pass. But now there is no permanent worker, all casual and casual. Only by casual worker, they're afraid of their job every day. So they cannot come and stand for fighting. This is a we know the worldwide capitalist conspiracy to maintain their rule, so that it is another problem trade union movement is facing in the country, in the world also. So we know the problem, but to solve the problem, we need massive number of activists to convince the people to organize struggle. What is lacking? These struggles are in the last 60s and 70s. There are many struggle of workers present in the country, in at least in certain parts of the country. And those area we could convince the people, we could change the government. But majority of the area we are not there. In our absence were there, and because we could not reach them and we could not convince them. The difficulty we face, we cannot get out of it overnight. We know it is a long battle.
So, coming to your party organizations, even in your party, we see the prominent young faces are all former or present student leaders. But why is it that no young trade unionist or peasant leaders getting prominence even within your party?
Peasants in the cities areas, university, college, and industry, the prominence is easier to avail. But from the rural areas, the people do not get prominence overnight. It takes time, and gradually leadership even in rural area, leadership is not also as vocal, as violent, as um, um, efficient in the urban area. Because of that, we are trying to build up our leadership, and that leadership, they're not well dressed, they cannot speak English, but they force Narendra Modi to come down, to force them to withdraw his black hat. So, if we can create confidence among the people in favor of their rights, and we can identify that who are their enemy, and we can convince them about the enemy and how to defeat the enemy, some achievement can be made. In Kisan movement, we have seen when everybody thought there will be no struggle, no movement, especially during COVID, the government used that COVID to destroy the movement. People cannot come out, cannot raise anything. But in spite of that, we defied that, and Kisan came out and built up the movement. We know these are the mantra of this struggle, but it is not reaching everywhere, every people. That weaknesses of organization is one of the major hurdle in front of us.
Even in your party, we see that, say in your Kisan Sabha, who is the next generation leader? We don't see. Even the C2, we don't see the next generation leader. So, don't you see there is a gap? Your party is now believing more on campus to campaign, rather than promoting people who have mass bases working among the workers or the farmers?
No, no, that we are doing. That we are doing. Our every 3 years we are holding our conference. 20-30% younger people are promoted to the committee. And getting prominence, it takes time because we do not have any media. Media are totally blackout. Nowhere our name and propaganda you will find. We have to build
But
bit by bit.
your student leaders are getting prominence like Minakshi or
That
Deepshika.
is not the new people. They are new people, but they are not experienced. They're emotional. Emotion works to bring people together, but emotional cannot change the situation. To fight a revolutionary battle, emotion should be organized in a systematic manner, and they should acquire experience of life. They should know the tidbits of the enemies and their attack, and they have to fight on the street. It will take some time.
So,
This is coming up, but it will take much more time. I
so
advise
you
Bengal people, I advise our community Bengal that for 10 years you forget about election. And don't forget Panchayat, Assembly, Municipality, Lok Sabha. You participate somehow for campaign, but forget that you will win. 10 years you forget it. But you work as we did. In 60s, nothing was there. But in 60s, we worked among the people for 10, 15 years without getting anything, without any expectation. But that created this atmosphere. People, we achieved the faith and confidence of the people. And those people gradually came forward in struggle. We have to rework that. We cannot get out of blue anything. And we are taking our new people and asking them that only emotion will not do. You need experience, you need sacrifice, and only that you can try to change the situation.
So, do you mean this new generation leaders which the party is propping up, they are too emotional and not matured enough and doesn't have mass base?
Mass, they have supporter, and among you students, our student leaders have some student supporter. But they should achieve some experience. They have just now 1, 2, 3, 4 years struggling. With that, they will not get overall support of the people. You have to confidence of the people also. For that, you need work for longer time. You have to prove your efficiency. You have to prove your matter that you can do service to the people, do good to the people. If people listen to you, they can be benefited. That is hard work. Only by giving some lecture and sitting in the office, you cannot achieve that. That is our concern, that we are getting new people now. Last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, younger people are coming all over the world because people do not totally campaign against communist, left, and only the loot and corruption, loot, brave, on all sorts of things are capturing the mind of the people. But
So,
now we know it will take time to convince the people that if we want to remove these scenes from the lives of the people, we have to work hard and get experience, and we have to prove our mettle in the eyes of the people.
so are these new generation leaders getting leadership and party ticket too easily
Yes, yes,
without
they're
having?
getting. Yes, yes. Last we have changed that. Older people gradually were coming back, and we are bringing newer people in the committees. In every conference we are doing this time also at mass organization level, student, youth, women, trade union, in all mass organization level, younger people more and more coming in the leadership. And from there, proved and efficient people from their younger section, we are taking inside the party leadership. And it is a process. Overnight, we know it will not be done overnight. It will take some more time. And during that period, we have prepared the people, train the people, and promote the people. That is the purpose of our organization and conference.
Many say in Bengal, Mamata Banerjee has hijacked left agenda with her welfare schemes like Lakshmi Bhandar, Kanyasri, Kishak Bandhu, so on and so forth. So, do you agree with this hypothesis?
It is difficult because we want to make human being a human being, and bourgeois party want human being to become beggars. A human being when get job, work whole day, earn money, and with that he lives, he gets faith in him. But when a man gets something in hand and every day he will only run after begging. Begging cannot create a good human being. Begging will create beggars. Beggars cannot change their fate. They will only surrender and ask for beg. Begging is not the way. Struggle is the way to live with confidence, with humanity, with head high. We want people to become head high, not corrupt, looter, rapist, kunda, criminal. We do not want such people. We want such real young people who will be honest in their behavior, have faith in their struggle, will be able to convince the people, and will be in the forefront of the struggle. Through that, only a real leadership can be built up.
So you are saying these welfare schemes, so-called welfare schemes like Lakshmi Bandar, Kanyasri, they are essentially making people, beggars, turning them into beggars.
That is
Are you
not
saying
in an individual leader. That is not in the individual leader. It is World Bank scheme. World Bank want that if you want to destroy trade union movement, you remove permanent worker. Make only temporary workers. Marx told of working class leadership, but it is organized worker. But lumpen, unorganized section, they are lumpen. They cannot lead revolutionary struggle. So in that situation, our situation in our age also, we have to work for that. This all over the world, you see, all the bourgeois parties accepting this new line. New people
no? But
give some benefit, direct
how do you
benefit,
see
and
these welfare schemes
purchasing
of
the people, not training the people. They're purchasing the people. Education destroyed, our society destroyed, and make the people beggar. That is the purpose. But that purpose we do not believe. If others are doing, they are getting some benefit, but that benefit cannot be enduring. But that benefit, when people will understand one day that by begging only we cannot survive as a human being. We can survive as a beggar, but we cannot survive as raise our head with human being. I think that
but sir,
faith, we have to
sir,
live in faith. Comrade Rabindranath said that it's seen to um,
but
not
sir,
to believe the human being. You have
but
to
sir,
believe in the good sense of the human being. You have to
yeah,
believe, and that will emerge if we work properly.
but sir, your party's internal report suggested that if this stand of opposing Lakshmi Bandar has backfired electorally.
No, we are not
So,
openly, we are not opposing in that such way, but we have to tell the people by only getting money and sitting home, can you live as a human being forever? You have to convince the people. There are arguments are there. So examples are there. We have to set the argument and examine to the people. We are not blaming it, who was getting and who was giving, because this is their way of capturing power. But we think that way of capturing power, it is a crime.
so sir, what according to you should be the roadmap for resurgence of the left parties in India? Do you think the
You
merger
know,
of do you think the merger of all communist party can be one probable revival solution?
no, this is one of the way we have to bring all left forces together. Lefts are there but spread in different name, different under different flags. We have to bring the unity of the left. We know. Secondly, we have to create a concrete roadmap to change the thinking pattern of the people. Thirdly, we have to train our people to go with those ideas to the people and to convince them. And we have to say that you forget that you are getting any benefit tomorrow. You have to work hard for long, and only when you change the people's mind, only you can change the system. You cannot just dream that tomorrow, if you have a demonstration and you will have the power. This type of easy and cheap thinking will not help the left force.
So one last question: who will be the successor of Mr. Sitaram Yechuri? Many say it will be present Bengal State Secretary Muhammad Salim. So who is the next successor?
Our party, we do not discuss with the public. Our organization conference decided. Conference discussed it and different aspects of the leadership, and the conference will elect the leaders. Our party congress is on in first, second, third, fourth April, and in the party congress we will discuss, and then the party congress will elect a new leader. It is not discussed in the public, and we do, that is not our process.